Happy Juneteenth, everyone. I am going to just show a few slides to explain Juneteenth in just a few minutes. It's going to go really fast. So Juneteenth is short for June 19th, and today we celebrate the end of slavery in America. So let me go ahead and share my screen and just give you a few slides to help you know about Juneteenth. All right, here we go. So on June 19, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger traveled to Texas and he read Order Number 3, stating that all African Americans, enslaved African Americans in Texas were now free. Um, at this time, African Americans had been fighting very hard for their liberty, for their freedom. However, enslavers had traveled down, white enslavers traveled down to Texas to continue to enslave African Americans. And so Union General Gordon Granger traveled down there and read the order announcing that they were free, and they had been freed via the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, and also by June 1865, the Civil War was over. Part of General Granger's job was to enforce the freedom among angry enslavers in Texas, former enslavers now. Freedom, however, was far from instant. This is an image of the actual General Order Number 3. After this, Juneteenth balls started being held in 1866. African Americans had these balls, which included food, singing, and the reading of spirituals, and it commemorated newly freed Black people taking pride in their progress. This is a picture of Emancipation Park, which community leaders and led by reverends in Texas in 1872 purchased so that they have a place to commemorate their freedom. They also wanted to practice their new right of property ownership. There were continued obstacles to freedom. The racist ideology that Black people belonged to an inferior subhuman race did not simply disappear once slavery ended. So as a result, you had the Black codes being passed in the South, which were reinforcing slavery. Basically, it led to widespread arrest of Black men and a restricted access to everything from labor, wages, etc. This period was so severe, it became known as the Great Nadir, or second slavery. And then it was followed by racial apartheid, also known as the Jim Crow laws, which were in effect from 1865 to 1965. And they enforced racial segregation in every facet of public and private life. So when people say slavery ended 400 years ago, they are not taking into account that slavery was replaced by the Black codes, and then Jim Crow laws, and now mass incarceration. On June 19, 1968, the Poor People's March was an effort organizing cross-racial people to work for economic justice. And this march took place on June 19, 1968. Those who attended the march then went home and celebrated Juneteenth. The march was organized by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and then after his tragic assassination, Dr. Ralph Abernathy carried out the march. Here are some images from the march. Another image. And then in Texas in 1980, Texas State Representative Al Edwards pushed through the legislature a bill making Juneteenth an official state holiday in Texas. Texas was the first state to do that. And then in 2020, there was another resurgence following the killings of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. More cities and states began recognizing Juneteenth. This collage also includes pictures of Trayvon Martin, Philando Castile, Eric Garner, and Sandra Bland, who were also killed as a result of anti-Black racism. May they all rest in peace, as well as the many, many others killed in similar manner. In New York State began recognizing Juneteenth in October 2020 when Governor Andrew Cuomo signed a law making Juneteenth an official state holiday. And then in June 2021, President Biden signed a bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. So that is my short presentation on Juneteenth. If you want information, I have a longer video that has more information. And thank you for watching my video. Happy Juneteenth.